You ever gonna ask me out, Will?
I'm just waiting for the right moment.
I'll see you around.
Abby, I'm waiting for the right moment, because when I ask you out, there's not going to be any turning back for me. I'm not going to date anybody else for the rest of my life. I'm not going to love anybody else for the rest of my life. I'm waiting for the right moment, because when I ask you out, it's going to be the most important moment of my life. And I just want to make sure that I get it right.
Well, writer and director Dan Fogelman is known for a number of different kinds of films. He is probably best known these days as the creator of the television series smash hit This Is Us on NBC. That show, of course, is a multi-generational segmented stories. It goes from one period in time to another. We follow all these different characters. He's brought that style to his latest film on the big screen here, and it's called Life Itself. This is another multi-generational story, but one that's much darker at its heart, but still full of sentiment and still full of life and love and loss and tragedy, rebirth, all the things we all experience in one time or another. That's what he's throwing into this mix here.
You're the love of my life, I'm sure of it. But sometimes it scares me how much you feel. You know? It's not something I ever thought I would be scared of, but I may not be equipped to be loved this much.
It opens up with Oscar Isaac playing Will. He's a bit of a loose cannon. He's making a scene in a Starbucks-like coffee shop. He is clearly disturbed in his discussions with his therapist, played by Annette Bening, and their sessions are the centerpiece of the first part of this film. But as we go into flashbacks and learn that his crazy kind of off-the-wall behavior is really due to a marriage that he was in with Abby, and he keeps referring to her as having left him. And so we go back and we discover that marriage through all these flashbacks, even to visits with her parents, Erwin and Linda, played by Mandy Patinkin and Jean Smart. We meet them in this section as well. And it leads to another chapter in this movie, focusing on Dylan, their daughter, played wonderfully by Olivia Cook here. She also is trying to find herself musically and in every which way as a young woman making her way here. She will figure later in the film as well, but then in a third chapter, the whole thing moves to Seville, Spain, now seemingly disconnected, although there is one little connection to all of this there in the Spanish section. But this is all in Spanish with subtitles, a risky thing, but that really pays off here. Antonio Banderas is Mr. Sacchioni here. He is a big landowner, and Javier, played by Sergio Paris Menchada, works for him, and he's married to Isabel, played by Laia Costa. It's interweaving with its own kind of soap opera elements, some people might say, but I thought really touching kind of relationships between all of these characters that we meet in Spain here, and the connection back to New York where the film opened. It's all going to make sense, folks, but let it fold over. Let you discover what life itself is about, and that is simply life itself.
It's so strange how a completely random moment that happened way before I was born would shape my entire life.
Are you glad it happened?
Terrific performances across the board here. I really loved this movie. I've actually seen it twice now. It's even better the second time. And Dan Fogelman, he may go for sentiment sometimes, but it is always well earned, and everything in this movie is worth pondering if you want to examine our own lives, your own life, and see where it fits in the scheme of things. This is a movie you may very strongly relate to. I did. It is simply terrific. I say, go.